Hello, lovely humans. XFM Friday, a couple days after Christmas. This is March 27th. It's December 27th. Thank you to everybody that sent me like Merry Christmas, little comments and messages and stuff. You guys are amazing. I had a delightful time. It was pretty trippy because it was just my oldest brother and my mom, right? And we did sushi tradition. It was a freaking mess. It turned out horrible. I don't know why. All the ingredients, the brands and stuff I needed to get, I couldn't get them, so I got different brands of everything. It was a disaster, but whatever. We had fun anyway. Also, we ended up watching like Whose Line all night, which is like together. That's something we haven't done in about 20 years. So that was pretty trippy, but it was fun. And I also wanted to say thank you because I did get, some Christmas donations and stuff for furniture, housewarming gifts and all that. And I just want to say thank you so much because I'm not allowed to answer those. So I wanted to say it now. And I got one specific donation for a bug zapper. And I am proud to say I got one. So I am armed and ready today. And the window is closed, but I am ready. It's charged and everything. So thank you for that. I just want you guys to know when you say, this donation is for this, I do that. Some of it was for furniture. I'm working on the furniture, still echoey. Furniture takes time. When you get something you want, usually it takes 40 days for them to make it. So, but I'm working on it. So thank you for all that. Anyway, Rusty Dog, since we're saying thank you for making these. These are amazing. Series 2, episode 32. I had a great week, but oh my God, stuff is never ending. I moved and I don't know if I told you guys or I mentioned this in any videos or whatever, but I moved and, well, when you find a place, you just kind of look at it quickly and make a decision. You can't thoroughly check it out and then say, oh, I want it. So, in a quick decision, you don't realize a lot of stuff. And then when I did move in, there was a lot wrong. So I'm fixing all that. One thing the bastards hid. There was a whole wall. It was very suspicious because the place when I saw it and, it was all empty, but there was one giant vase with fake sunflowers in the corner. I was like, and one, it's not an ugly painting, but one painting on the wall. And I was like, oh, okay. I decided to check behind the painting, see if it was hiding a crack in the wall or whatever, and it was fine. The wall was fine. So I'm like, oh, okay. But the stupid freaking vase was always suspicious, right? And after I moved in, I didn't like the vase. I didn't like the flowers it had or whatever. So I started moving stuff. And as soon as I moved it, the stupid vase was hiding a hole in the wall that was full of just mold and humidity and stuff. And it was behind wallpaper. They covered it up with wallpaper. So they really hid it. I was pissed. So I had to just, remove all the wallpaper, which is a pain in the ass. Also, it was there was 5 layers of wallpaper. They just kept covering that stuff up, man. That was insane. And I had to remove the wallpaper, pain in the butt. And then I just had to, bust the wall because it was all wet. You would touch it, it would fall off, which wasn't cool. So I've been fixing that stuff. There was also a gas leak in the other room. It was a mess, okay? It's not so much that I moved into a problem, but there was a lot more to do than I thought. So this last 10 days since I moved in, I've just been fixing stuff. I'm exhausted. People yeah, it's fun because I live alone. I've been wanting this forever and stuff. But there was so much more to do than I thought. And the fact that these bastards hid everything, that pissed me off. Anyway, what was my point? Oh yeah, I'm working on furniture and stuff, but I had to spend money. I had to have a guy come and fix the wall. So until that's paid for, I can't start getting furniture. Also because it makes a mess and dust and stuff. But I'm working on it. That was my point. I am working on it. Oh, also, I had perfect illumination last week, and all the lights burned out last week. So I had to freaking improvise. I got a bunch of lamps everywhere. It's a mess, people, but I'm doing what I can. Anyway, long week. I could use some Carl goodness, and I imagine you can too, because we all can. Carl is just amazing. Comedy hero is one of my favorite descriptions of a person, and he most definitely is. So, let's do this. I am ready. I have no idea what this one's going to be about, or what features it's going to have, what kind of mess it's going to be, but I know it's going to be a mess, and it's going to be a beautiful mess. So let's watch. I'm sorry if that was long, dude, but I'm excited. Ooh, Christmassy noise. you pause, please? Pausing. Did I pause? I paused. Okay. This is so sweet. Okay. This Christmas brings a brand new start, a lovely home to warm your heart. Your videos filled with love and cheer have brought us joy throughout the year. Oh, thank you guys. Through every frame, your kindness shows a light that heals, a warmth that glows. You brighten days in your special way, a gift we treasure come that May. You're so sweet. This is awesome. I'm sorry. I'm excited. May your new home be a place of peace. It is. It totally is. Except for Kitana. But whatever. We're working on it. Where love and daughter never cease. Love and laughter. I don't know why I saw daughter. I'm little, messed up. Never cease. This Christmas, Mandy, our hearts are true. Thank you for being uniquely you. This is so sweet. Thank you so much. I love this. I didn't think I was going to get a Christmas card. That's something you would think, is like a physical thing. I didn't think I'd get one. Thank you. This is so sweet. Awesome. I love it. Rusty, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Placebo, the bitter end
Okay,
on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is both Stephen Merchant and Carl, the K-Man, Pilkington.
Oh.
So, you've already got that.
I can feel him still being mad from last week.
That's safe. So, you've already got that. That's safe. It's only 4 minutes past. You've had placebo and you've got us three. So
you're definitely going home with that.
Yeah,
whatever
that's
happens.
safe. That's on its way to the hospice.
Exactly. You've banked that.
Yeah. Now, do you want to gamble all that to go on and listen for another 2 hours? Well, you could walk away now and you're up.
Yeah, you're up. You're
right.
already up.
Right, that's brilliant.
You have not wasted any time.
Do you want to gamble that against another 2 hours? It might be shoddy, it might go downhill, but it might get even better, Carl. What do you say they do? Listen for another 2 hours?
Yeah.
See, we shouldn't have done that.
We shouldn't have asked Carl, because a lot of them now are already taking what they've got. And what they've got is great, Rick. What they've got is lovely.
Yeah.
They're loving that. They're going to enjoy that.
We have got monkey news. We've got cheapest chimps. That's not the same thing.
I was going to say, that's not
At
the
stage,
same.
we've got two ape-related simian features.
Rick, can I
Amazing.
point out now, a lot of people are making that mistake. A lot of people are thinking that monkey news is exactly the same as cheapest chimps. It
It's
is
not.
Let's keep that clear.
It's not. It's in the same ballpark, but it's not the same.
There are apes. They're involved.
One
They're
is
involved,
just
yeah,
screaming
yeah,
chip
yeah.
is chimps.
We've also
at
got
the
some
end.
great music. Yeah. We've got an amusing sketch about a fly.
Oh, gee,
What?
Oh, and Mystique dropping in.
let's hope the Mystique ladies are coming in.
From X-Men.
Singing
Yeah,
their
I want to kick off with a song that is, you've got like half a dozen posing songs that when you're sort of like between 14 and 18, they were the ones you'd put on to get ready to go out, or just pose around, or be that pop star, or think you're on stage, or whatever, or in the video.
Yeah.
And embarrassingly, I dug this out, and I remembered I used to post this like a mother when I was about 14, right? This is Street Life by Roxy Music. You used to do...
Mine was Oops Upside Your Head.
Yeah.
It was just me on the floor in my bedroom. One day I thought there'll be other people in this imaginary post.
yeah. Elbows going everywhere,
Yeah.
knocking over vases.
Yeah. But then I remember later it was Black Lace's Superman, which is something similar. Do you remember that? That was brilliant.
Wow.
Spray, ski, da-ding,
If you've out there in Radioland got any funny jokes, then call in on
email
it.
them in because we need some.
Oh.
Oh. What the hell was that whole conversation?
Street Life, Roxy Music off the Stranded album. That's what I used to jump around to.
What would you have been wearing while you were listening to that?
Well, probably Brutus Gold jeans.
Classy.
Or Green Flash pumps.
Sure. Any socks?
Shoes?
I would have had socks, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have probably been wearing the shirt my mum got me from Tesco's, which was again a Brutus shirt, and it had women in bikinis eating bananas on a chaise longue.
Of course it did. What, lots of small ones, or just one big one?
Lots of little small ones, yeah. So so that was that.
That was that.
I didn't
Did
wear a
you
trilby,
have a
no.
toy with a trilby?
I remember when I went on holiday about that time, and I was about 14. My older brother had this leather jacket, and I was on the beach.
Is that really him?
In my shorts and that, and I went to get an ice cream or something. I said, "Can I borrow a jacket?" And I put his jacket on, and I was frozen on the beach thinking, they are all looking at me, because I look so good. And I also had a straw Stetson. And I really thought, yeah, I'm turning into quite a man.
Yes, I'm quite a catch.
Yeah. Just thinking, they're looking, they're going, who's that dude? Is he American? Hold on, has he just come from Some sort of rodeo.
Wait a minute, I'm in a bikini and I like bananas. I could be the woman for him.
Oh dear.
What was that? Didn't you have a t-shirt or a jacket or something you wore to university that was pretty classy? Didn't it have like some foul language on it or something? What was
Classy.
Yeah, I had, when I was, this was when I was 18, right, the Christmas, or no, the birthday before I went to, university, got 2 sweatshirts, one black, one red, had bullshit on them. Just done them about.
I like it.
And the red one, all my clothes, the first wash, everything was pink. All my white shirts and my
That's
white
on
socks,
you.
of course, because I just put it and I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that I was a man at university with all pink clothes except for a rather nice red sweatshirt with bullshit on it.
I like it.
So again, turning into
Not bad.
quite
Yes,
a man.
quite the man. Was that pre or post the time you washed your clothes by getting in the bath? And
That
putting
was
some...
pre. That was the second year when I was in had to go and digs at our Halls residence. So I had a bath, and you had to sort of like pay for a bath, you know. So I thought 2 birds with 1 stone. I got in the bath.
Pay for a bath? I've
with
never
all
heard that
2 birds
before.
sort of like pay
Anywhere.
for a bath, you know. So I thought 2 birds with 1 stone. I got in the bath with all my white shirts. So I was going through sort of, you know, wearing a white shirt and tie, that sort of.
That's pretty
you know,
gross.
David Sylvian sort of fine for everything. And Daz. And I just wriggled around in it.
Oh,
I washed myself. It's quite a good exfoliant.
Isn't that like very abrasive?
So yeah, I
to
didn't do it
skin?
again because it was sort of not good for the skin, Daz.
Quite sore, is it, around the
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
the
yeah,
more intimate
yeah,
regions?
yeah. So there you go. Roxy music and street life.
I guess you live and you learn,
Carl.
right?
Thoughts?
I just was working out time really. We've got last week we had a lot
Time?
of stuff that we
The
didn't manage to
concept of
cram
time?
in.
Which was
Last week we had a lot of stuff that we didn't manage to cram in.
which was good.
So I'm just looking at we have got Cheap as Chimps coming. Songs of Phrase.
Oh, we
Another
haven't
chance
forgotten
to
about
win some
that.
stuff.
Why don't we kick off with that so we don't forget it?
There you go.
Cheapest Chimps or Songs of Phrase or the film thing. We
We'll
didn't
do
get the
that in
film
a bit.
done
We've
yesterday.
also got a new feature, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I should just point out now that someone has, Ashley Phillips has emailed in, because obviously with Songs of Phrase, what Carl does, for those that have not heard it, he takes a phrase that you might hear commonly on the show, and then he uses various
There's this
songs.
hairy Chinese kid.
Was the one
You
we
never
kicked off
seen
with.
an old bloke eating a Mars bar.
And, yeah,
No,
as I say,
it was
uses
bar,
different
bar,
chunks
bar,
of
dude.
songs.
Do it right.
And, yeah, as I say, he uses different chunks of songs, and he makes up that phrase. And so he has made some suggestions here, Carl, because he thinks that the more common Carl, you're an idiot, fool, etc., perhaps a
Play
little
a record.
overheard, he'd like to maybe hear Carl, pause, I don't know where to start.
Love
Which is a
it.
common one from Ricky. Carl,
it.
which bit of that do you actually think is true? And then there's the regular dialogue between the three of us. Carl, well, you know, it could happen. Me, sure. Ricky, no, Carl, it could never happen. Not now, not ever. You're an idiot.
That's
Play a
too
record.
long.
So maybe some of those you could use
A lot of
next
songs
time.
there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Lot of
get
songs.
it going then
All
for
right.
today.
Yeah.
This week we're. Do you remember the story?
I'm a little disappointed that Ricky's "I'm about to burst" isn't in there. That's like one of my favorite things to hear on it because he always says it in the same tone, which is he's literally about to burst and he's just out of air and stuff. And I love it because I can imagine the tears in his eyes and just the face he's making. That's one of
Got me
my
on
favorites,
sick.
dude.
Well, will we get it going then
All
for
right.
today?
Yeah.
This week we're. Do you remember the story about my auntie having wind for 5 minutes? Yeah.
Your auntie, was it your auntie Nora?
Auntie Nora. She was on a lot of medication and stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's a
Is
side
it me or does
Your
her?
auntie, was it your auntie Nora?
I don't know if this was an artistic choice or what, but the boobs in that shirt look like a chameleon's eyes. And it kind of has, like, you can see the mouth and stuff. She's got a chameleon on her torso, man.
Auntie
That's
Nora. She was on a lot of medication and stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's a side effect that comes with it. So, yeah, she had wind for 5 minutes. So I thought we'd dig that one out. A classic line. Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I've got loads of songs here.
Oh,
How many is that?
Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes. 7 tracks.
Oh, that's tricky.
It's each
What
word.
you
Okay.
learn?
Okay, so you need to identify, if you can be bothered, the artists.
Yeah, we'll
That's
do
what we're
artists.
after, isn't it?
All right.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, Sharona. Whoa, whoa,
Artists.
My Sharona. I don't know who the hell the artist
artists.
is.
Yeah, we'll
That's
do
what we're
artists.
after, isn't it?
All right.
Okay. Listen.
The time of my life.
Alright, we'll play it a few times.
Just remember, as many as you can get, because the
Yeah.
winner would probably be, you know, who gets 5 or something. So don't worry if there's a couple you can't get, because you could still probably win.
Here we go
on.
again.
It is good. Can I just, what's the email address?
It's, well, if they go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, they can just send them through there and
They can
that.
send them through that way.
Right.
Which of these is the prize bag?
Oh yeah, they didn't even.
That's the one, is it, Carl? All right, so let's see what hot treats you could win.
Hot
As I get them out, Carl, do you want to play it once more?
Yep.
It really flows, doesn't it?
All of them except one.
Yeah.
Right, let me
Or
see what
maybe
we've got
2.
here. Once again, Carl, you excelled yourself with an arbitrary collection of DVDs.
Just hanging around, were they?
Hey,
Hanging
they're
around.
DVDs this time.
Again, I'm always interested to know which of our XFM listeners has tastes as broad as this.
Go on.
We've got the recent BBC adaptation of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Brilliant.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
We've
all
got, what's this? Is this the... This is, something
Did it say a
involved. Is
child?
this the...
Oh,
This
I
is,
thought it said a child
so-
production. I was like, who wants to see that? A chilling new production. Got it. Okay, see? I'm a little... I don't want to go as far as to say as I dyslexic because, like, no, I can recognize that is a proper, like, issue, but yeah, I've been nicked by dyslexia. Like, it's kind of, sort of, a lot of the time.
What's this? Is this the... This is something involving Air, the band Air. I think it's a
This is
single
Air.
at best.
Yeah.
This is probably worth having. This is the current Flaming Lips album. So you've excelled yourself there, actually, Carl. That's not bad. An XFM mouse mat. They're as common as muck.
Oh, hold on. You can't give
nice.
away that mouse mat. It's a piece of foam.
Now, I was going to dismiss the oddball sci-fi movie K-Pax featuring Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges, but Carl, is it
It's
signed by Kevin Spacey?
It's signed, yeah. It's an actual... So win that
Where'd
and put
you
it on
get
eBay
that?
for £4.50.
And, man alive.
What is that?
Just look at their faces.
No, Carl! Don't give that. No one wants that unless it's ironic.
Series 1 and 2 on DVD of popular northern-based sitcom Bread.
Buy it, sell it. The game's getting hard because someone's dealing you a losing card.
Alright,
They all had a go. All the actors had a line on that song. Oh,
play the clips again.
play the clips again. I really want to win it now.
Here we go.
You know, I said all the
clips.
actors have a line in that song. The other day, I saw like a behind the scenes of one of those I never, ever understood and never liked particularly. I do not know what part of American culture it is to insert musicals in all their TV shows and movies and stuff. Shows that have nothing to do with music or musicals, and it has no place in it, and it just ruins it. And most people don't like them, and they just skip over them. Like, I always skipped over them. Like, in The Simpsons, sometimes they'll just break into song, and in just every freaking show, basically. And the other day, I saw behind the scenes of one of the times in How I Met Your Mother where they break into song, and there's, like, a song about Barney's suits or whatever, how much he likes his suits. And they showed up behind this. It's a whole thing. There's a whole orchestra. All the actors like singing properly, their lines all together and stuff. Like there was production behind that, and it's so bizarre to me to give such a big production to something that's so. Well, I personally don't like them. I never liked musicals or anything like that, or like Broadway. It's just not my thing. It never has been, and I always skip over that stuff because, to me, right? But I was impressed by like how big they made that for such a like short little moment in the show.
Again,
Play the clips again. I really want to win it now.
Here we go.
The wind sounds so like.
I can't believe this hasn't been done before.
It's extraordinary.
Alright.
Because most of our ideas have.
Gotcha. I like the verb.
Verve, Lucky Man on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Carl
Hey, Mandy.
Pilkington.
Donkey.
The emails, I should point out, aren't flooding in on the
No, but it
competition.
always takes time when they go through the website.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll be arriving in a bit.
Do you want to play it once more for those that have just joined us?
All right then.
Wind.
How did they get the
Brilliant.
4?
My
The 4 is
auntie
like
had
very.
wind for 5 minutes.
Brilliant. Genius.
Name the artists. Rick, I sometimes get off at the Tube at Tottenham Court Road if I want to look at the record shops before I come into XFM.
Okay.
And I always cut through Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I come to Chinatown, the same thought always strikes me. I always feel like I want to just gather all the little locals, all the little Chinese fellas, just gather them round and just go, guys, in what way is this a town?
It's not, is
This is not, at best, what you've got here is a novelty street.
Yeah, Gerrard Street is not a town,
No,
mate.
it's not a town. You've had this
just
for like
because you put a
100
little
years. It's not
pagoda.
expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just call it Chinatown and claim it's a town.
If I was them though and you do that, I go, what are you talking about? It is a town. It is a town. It's
What,
our
in what
town.
way?
It is a town. It's our town. We've got all lots of stuff.
Where's your church? Where's your mayor?
We don't need it. We've got a betting shop.
Not enough.
It is.
See, all you've got here is restaurants.
No.
That's not a town.
No. Got a little supermarket with snacks.
What does it sell?
Snacks.
Specifically, I would imagine crackers.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to buy a dragon? Do you want to buy an ornamental dragon?
If I wanted to buy one, this is where I would.
Do you want to buy a gold dragon?
Yes.
Is it made of gold?
No, it's made of plastic, but it's sprayed gold. Do you want to buy that?
It's not a town.
It is a
It's
town.
not a town.
Yeah.
And I
This sounds exactly like the comments section when I watched the David Mitchell soapbox thing, and I explained that to me a fort was more like a tent, you know, hold down the fort instead of hold the fort, blah, blah, blah. And it was always like tent kind of stuff in my mind because, you know, you have blanket forts or whatever. Everybody was so ticked off in the friggin', like there were some people saying, oh yeah, like maybe not me too, but like I can see where you're coming from. And then there were people like, a tent is not a fort. Like, dude. Who cares? Just let me be who am I hurting, man. That was my thought process when I was like 12, and it just kind of stuck that way because I've never. Somebody even very angrily said, like, okay, that's what you thought when you were a kid. What about now that you're an adult? What's your excuse? I'm like, dude, I was 12. I never encountered a fort or a tent again since I was 12. I never gave it a second thought. I don't care. Like, it's not something I'm not constantly, you know, walking into forts and tents and stuff and saying, oh, this isn't the same. Like, I've just never come up. So I never, you know, had to hash out the thought process again and say, oh, I was stupid at 12. Like, it doesn't matter. But this is the same kind of freaking argument, man. Who cares?
Because when I've got a town,
Yeah.
and it annoys me because when I first came to London, I genuinely thought Chinatown was going to be this amazing, like, you know, like what they've got there is
You'd hear a gong and
yeah,
every time we went in there,
and
right?
there'd be rickshaws and people walking on those little sort of wooden shoes. You know those ones? They're brilliant. They are just clomping around in them, but nothing. It's nothing.
Hats.
It's just exactly. It just reminds me of, have you ever been to any of those sort of museums? You tend to have them up north, where they've got, like, you sort of sit in a little cart, and it sort of rides you through kind of, I don't know, it might be,
Newcastle,
the Victorian era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I have a half pound of those sweets, please?
Exactly.
Of course you can.
If there was some animatronic men, it would just be an exhibit.
Yeah.
At some kind of museum.
Their concession to being 100 years ago is that there's some scales in the
Exactly.
shop, and there's a horse outside.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The traditional sounds and smells of old England.
And the voice of going, of course, there was no television.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Brilliant. Yeah.
Haven't they got one
Welcome
of
to
Yeah.
Chinatown.
I thought that was a new feature.
So it's not. Yeah, it's a good point.
Is that a piece of traditional music? Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Is that some traditional Chinese music, or is that music that someone in this country wrote, thinking it sounded like Chinese music?
I think it was the. Was it the Vapors, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it is? That? Because it sounds different. That's the music, isn't it? But are you sure they didn't take that from some other source?
it's that pentatonic scale, isn't it? What is it called? It's the black notes on the piano.
Right, that's the one I can play along with EastEnders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't get with it?
Go on.
Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown, because I always walk through it on the way to work. A couple of things annoy me. First of all, I think it's bad business, just because if you've got a Chinese restaurant, put it somewhere where there isn't any others.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, but it's also a community. They're not just a theme park for other people.
I remember going out one night with Suzanne and some friends, and you got there and there's so much choice. It's that dilemma of, oh, forget it.
Well,
And
not
we went
really.
somewhere
Specifically,
else.
do you fancy Chinese?
Well, no, but
No,
why don't you go to the one with the dead ducks hanging in the window? That's
Well,
my
that's the
favourite.
other thing as well. It's like, normally you put your good stuff in the window. if that's what's in the window. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing that annoys me, walking through it today, there's always lard on the floor.
On the floor.
In the street. It is, honestly. I'm scared I'm going to slip over. It's with
What?
all the restaurants and that. But why is it? Oh, that's another point.
Well, it's not oozing out of the restaurant.
No, but why is it? Why is it?
I don't know what they do.
Careful. Listen, no, but why is
That's why they used to wear those little wooden shoes.
it? Okay, we've got...
No, but the thing is as well, they try and wash it with water, which doesn't work with lard, and it's like oil.
Famously, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even I know that.
Yeah, you got to scrub it.
Even I know that. If anything is just like insulting to somebody's intelligence, it's even I know that. There's a Chinatown here in the city in Buenos Aires. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. But it's one of those places that from where I live and all the places I've lived, actually, because I moved around a lot, but that's a different story. It's always like a hassle to get there. It's not far, but there's nothing to like directly get there. It's always a real pain in the ass to go. So I never went. But I have heard that they do have like the ducks and the bunnies and, you know, the skinned little animals in the windows and stuff. So... But now I'm curious about the lard. Like, I wonder if that just carries from Chinatowns in all different countries, or it's just their Chinatown. I'm totally... And it's funny, because it's basically the translation in Barrio Chino. It's China neighborhood. It's not a town. But, I'm curious now what the hell is the lard.
So,
I
even
gotta...
I know that.
Yeah,
I gotta go one day.
So,
You think
sorted that out.
Yeah.
You think they'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cheap
thanks
as
for your
chimps.
thoughts on Chinatown, Carl.
Right, I'm going to play this thing again, because it is a bit slow today, the email.
Oh, because it's too hard.
It's not too hard, there's just clips of songs. What are the artists? Email in.
I don't know any of the artists.
XFM.co.
I love how he laughs every
He
time.
put the work in and that
Well.
one's he's getting annoyed. Oh.
Remember, I think Kevin Spacey and the signed K-Pax DVD is probably the only incentive to try and have a go at that one.
Just think you could win by getting one of them.
Exactly. They're coming in now. Okay, this is electronic.
They're flowing in.
Electronic, getting away with it.
Definitely. Do you reckon we'll get away with it? You see, you've worried me now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's worried me.
My
Carl.
apologies if you're offended at all by my reference to those little wooden shoes. That's not going to help, Rick.
Dear.
That Chinese women
dear.
used to wear. I don't know if they still wear them.
We've only had one complaint, haven't we? We got the.
See, that's not the Chinese shoes I was thinking about. Like, I know about those, but I thought because when I was young, I was taught that maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's one of those things that I just never rethought about as an adult, and I just stayed with what I thought. But it's not what I thought. I was taught this. It's not like a conclusion I got to myself by myself. That in China, the women they made them wear wooden shoes so their feet wouldn't grow because it was aesthetically more pleasing to the men in China when women had tiny little feet. So they would, from a very young age, just wear extremely uncomfortable torture wooden shoes so their feet would be all misshapen and malformed and stuff, but to remain tiny, just to look nice. So I don't know if that's the wooden shoes he's talking about. I don't know if that's how that went down in history or if that's what we're talking about. But the wooden flip-flops, those look more handy to walk around through lard than the ones I'm thinking about. So I don't know what we're talking about now.
We got from the Sony's that one about talking about the swan's penis, but things about complaints is people complain all the time. It's whether it's upheld because it goes to an authority, and then they have to go, oh yeah, look, that was in poor taste or pre-watershed or
Some of the things you said on TV though, you must have been stung.
I've only had one upheld, one serious slap on the wrist for something I said. But
what was he saying?
Let's repeat it.
I was talking about, and it was a true story. I was talking about this little old man who his
Eating a Twix?
daughter was taken to home because he used to fry up bacon and rub it round to get the dog to lick them.
Right.
How do you know that's a true story?
Yeah.
And that was it. That's why you got a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, he said it on Songs of Praise.
They said it was in poor taste, I suppose.
What other complaints?
You know the biggest complaint ever on TV, the most complaints ever for anything on TV, was the showing of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know the second? Yeah, the second was I think Anne Robinson
What? I didn't even move!
put in the Welsh into room 101.
Sorry, I got distracted by my green screen malfunction.
Yeah,
I didn't move.
Was I think Anne Robinson put in the Welsh into room 101.
What? Because she didn't like him and that.
Yeah, she just said, well, they're going in the,
Oh.
She said it slightly more eloquently than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people or the place?
I don't know.
I think it was the place and therefore the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
I get it.
You know, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They've reside now in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
So you get it?
Is,
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that... it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just... it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots of
everywhere.
vicars walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it is the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it. It's all right. It's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But this is why they don't move on.
The UK version of like Miami, Florida.
But this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another...
No.
Sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Carl is.
No, but...
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes again
The thing
as well.
is, it's good that, in a way, that they do that, and they don't want to be, like, you know...
Why
rushing
don't they
about
move
everywhere,
on?
because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me, right? But... like, one of the shops
Anyone
that my mum and
from
dad
Wales?
use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop. They can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people who use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is, they get used to what you buy. And
They leave it out.
They put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he
yeah.
found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not for other people. It is for my dad. Because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
Chickens.
no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who is there in town with a Manc accent? Who hangs around a lot?
Dude, two things. One, I recently learned that... where was it? I can't remember where it was. But, okay, there are places somewhere that they have what are called, like, honest shops or whatever, honest little huts or whatever. And it's basically like a little wooden hut in the middle of a neighborhood, like on the corner of between two streets on the sidewalk, obviously, where they'll have groceries, just like stuff that won't perish, like fruit and vegetables mainly, maybe coal, something like that. And it has a little box and has a bunch of prices, and it's all bagged up, like prepped. And you just grab a bag and pay for it, and they trust you won't steal anything. And that's just the way it works in some, places. And that's really cool that they can have trust in that, right? And for some reason, that video got to Argentina. So all the comments were in Spanish and from Argentina, and everybody's saying, dude, here they'd take everything, the groceries, the bag, the money, the sign, the wood. They'll take the sidewalk from under the wood. If there's somebody standing next to the thing, they take that too. Like, it's ridiculous the amount they steal here, right? There are places in my neighborhood that are like not fancy buildings, but they were made like 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago when, they used to use proper bronze materials and like nice materials and stuff. And every once in a while you hear, old people on the street outraged that in their building somebody stole freaking bronze, just like screws. There were 4 screws for where the doorbells are, for example, and they stole the 4 screws just because they were bronze. Like, that's the level of thievery we have here. It's absolutely freaking bonkers. It's ridiculous, right? We can't have anything nice here because the times they tried to do some nice stuff, make nice stuff, like in parks and stuff, public places and just anything that would be like, oh, that's nice to have as a community. No, they stole it. So there's that. And then I heard that in the States... Here, if you get a delivery from anything, like a package of, you know, the Latin American version of eBay or just anything, right? They're not allowed to leave it at the door. Even if you live in a house, they have to ring the bell and somebody has to sign for it. And if it's not the person that ordered it, you have to, like, show verification that you're allowed to receive whatever the package is, right? But in the States, Amazon and all those, UPS, and they just leave the packages. So everybody steals packages, and there's like an all-time high right now with the holidays. They were stealing Christmas presents because they know everybody orders their stuff on Amazon or whatever the hell all them are called. I know there's more, but I can't really think of them. But and there's like it's always been an issue where people steal them, but now this like last month or 2 weeks, there's been so much more, and almost everybody over there has one of those little one of those little webcams, not webcams, like a camera on the doorbell. I don't know what they're called either, like a ring dash. I don't know, there's a name, but whatever. So they have freaking footage of whoever stole their shit, dude. That's ridiculous to me. Like, there has to be some kind of fix for that, right? But, yeah, that stuff pisses me off, dude, because I saw a lot of videos of people that just go and steal it, and everybody's like, dude, I spent 3 months saving up to buy my daughter, an easy bake oven, and it's all we had, and somebody stole it. Like, that's just so infuriating, and I hate that kind of stuff. So, more to the freaking honest little shopping hut, and less to people like Carl's dad. What the hell is that?
They're going to think, who's that? Who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who keeps making phone calls and is getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
You stitched it
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Carl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
I can't believe that
I
he's
like how
moved
Carl's
there. He's
realising
retired
it
to
now.
this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers, there's no bread again.
There's old women
Was
going
empty.
hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed, and your father is just... I can't... That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief. That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen. They won't know what's...
I think
He's
you stitched
worried
him right
now.
up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the
Set fire to
mansion.
his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Yeah.
Just play a record. I love the quiet of Carl just making it very obvious that he didn't really put together that it was wrong for him, Dad, to do that until they said it. And 2, he just gave away that his dad was doing something wrong on the radio. Oh, Carl.
Forget about tomorrow. Feeder.
Oh, I thought that was like advice. I'm like, I don't want
Listener,
to.
I'm talking to you now. Have you seen these posters around with me and Steve on it, right? It's embarrassing, right? We were mucking around at a photo session,
Okay.
and XFM wanted to do some posters. We couldn't be bothered to do them again, so we let them have this one. Irony comes back to haunt you, and it looks like I think I'm Simon Temper or something. And Steve's alright. But we
And
think
Steve's all right.
that Carl should be in it.
He's there too.
Carl doesn't want to be in it, but it looks like everyone listens to this show for Carl's, basically, innocent stupidity.
Okay.
And some great tracks.
Exactly.
They don't listen for us anymore,
No.
Steve. So I think it should be a campaign to get Carl on the poster.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I should point out that I think
Aw,
XFM are more than happy to have
adorable.
him on the poster.
So it's just him.
You don't want to be on there, do you?
There's no need for me to be on it.
Of course there is.
Why not?
I get so many emails here as I'm sat during the show reading them. So many emails saying, what does Carl look like? I
Well,
want pictures of
if
Carl.
you go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, we've got those film bits on there. those video mock-ups where I'm part of it, you can sort of.
That's not
see it
enough,
on
Carl. People want to see your face. You're part of the show.
Not
You're an
bothered.
intrinsic part of the show.
Bothered.
Yeah, we'll get you on the
No,
poster. Why?
Just, it'll be too much on a poster. They can only take in so much.
What
Just
do you
leave it.
mean?
It's
Leave
going
it.
to take so
Handsome.
much.
Yeah, it's good with 2 people.
No.
It's enough.
So what
Too
do
round
groups
of a head.
do then?
Well, they haven't.
It's like Ringo Starr is being left off the cover of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah. Or Rutherford doesn't get in a look in with Genesis.
Exactly.
Well,
You know.
It could be outrageous.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony Banks, you can't be in this one.
Yeah.
It's just me and you will be very. You see, you look like the Collins,
yeah,
so
but
you've got to be
I
in there.
don't photograph that well either.
You're joking. Is it
You're
because
joking.
you shine it off a little cue ball because it just shines off the
But
top?
a lot of people as well. You should dispel the myth. A lot of people think for some reason that you're fat. A lot of people say to me, "Is he fat?"
No, but that's because I haven't
There
got
are a lot of words to describe Carl. Okay, a lot. Some funnier than others, but fat is one that never crossed my mind. Not once. Mainly because he's not, but I don't think, if you don't know what he looks like, I don't think he sounds fat either, however that would be. I don't know how that would work, but he doesn't.
chair, so it looks like my head's big.
No, they haven't even seen you. They just think from listening to the show that you're fat.
That's because you're northern. They think you just eat chips
Yeah.
and complain about the weather,
Well,
complain about the south.
I just think you could answer a lot of your critics.
Yeah.
but then you see what I don't like about this world. A lot of people judge people on the way they look.
Look who's
Oh,
freaking
like
talking,
me.
by the way.
If only more people thought like that, Steve.
But Carl, you judge people on the way they look.
Yeah, I know. That's
Look
what I mean.
who's
but
talking-
couldn't
yeah, I
be me,
know.
could Because I don't know what I look like.
What?
If I was listening to me on the radio, I wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, he's a," and slag me off and that, because I don't know what I look like, and I quite like that.
What?
Do you know what I mean?
I've
No.
lost.
I don't know what
Absolutely
you're talking
lost.
about.
Just believe me, right? I'm right on this one. It's best if you leave it.
Well, we're
Sure.
not going to leave it. We're going to get you on the poster.
I mainly have to see myself on videotape this morning. That's
Oh,
put me
I
even
showed
more
him.
off.
Was his point that people can't make fun of him as much if they don't know what he looks like? Was that what he was trying to, process? But that is clearly from all the emails that they read out, not the case. I mean, it could add fuel to the fire because this is what he looks like, but you know what I mean? But okay, if that's
this
what he
morning.
thinks.
That's
Oh,
put me
I
even
showed
more
him.
off.
The animal show I did, the show.
Yes.
I'm doing a video, and I did behind the scenes footage, and I've got you've seen it, haven't you?
I feel a little bit of Carl on there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
It's lovely. He can't believe it. He said, "Is it playing slow?" Because he's so slow. When I come into the office, he's going, "All right." That's how you
And my
talk.
head as well. I look like I'm looking into a spoon.
I love it.
I'm not happy with it.
I just think that if we're willing if Ricky's willing to use his celebrity profile for the sake of the show,
Yeah.
I'm willing to look like let's say a fairly handsome, kind of cool customer. I think at
Okay.
least, the very least, Carl, is that you appear on there as well. You could dress
Are
up
you
smart.
are you worried that you'll look the worst out of all three of us?
Who am I standing next to? I'm next to Steve. I'm fairly confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
I like the way it's so predictable. You pull the string because you know what it is. It's not.
You pull the string.
Well, yeah.
What were we
Would
talking
you?
about before? Oh, I was tell yeah. You know the most complaints ever, the Last Temptation of Christ.
I haven't seen it.
Was it? It's Scorsese, isn't it?
It's Martin Scorsese, and I've bought the film actually recently because I was intrigued to see it, but I've not actually watched it. But from what I understand, the reason that it was so outrageous is because it has a whole sequence which shows what it would be like if Jesus had lived his life and not martyred himself on the cross, but lived his life as a human being. Part of which is him having sex, and so I think that was chiefly what the outrage was, that it was showing this godly man to be, as human as he was supposedly. Because he's supposed to be human as well. So that's the reason. That was the reason that there was complaints there. I don't know. I haven't seen the film.
Well,
I can't
you
say.
see him, do you?
You see him having sex, I think. Yes.
Although it is an actor, Carl.
Yeah,
I
it's not
must
actually
point out.
Jesus Christ.
It's not the real. It's not the real Robert Powell.
No.
It's an actor playing Robert Powell.
Is that, you see, sex on films and all that, right? When I was growing up,
Here we
I'd
go.
be watching. No, just saying an example of this, really,
Go on.
right? When I was growing up as a kid, and I'd be, watching films with my dad, right? He'd really be
That's
enjoying
always
a film,
uncomfortable.
right? And then a sex scene would happen,
Right.
and he'd go,
On film.
In
Or
the
just
film.
behind you.
In the film, a sex scene would happen,
Your brother up to his old tricks again.
and he'd get up and go and make a cup of tea, right?
Typhoon that he'd stolen from some sort of telephone box.
And like even recently, he thinks it ruins a film. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no need for it to happen, is there? Really?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes it's warranted.
In
If
porn.
the film itself is
Yeah, no,
fundamentally
some
about...
films it isn't though. Some
No,
films it
of
isn't.
course, some films it's arbitrary.
I think the films that him and his dad watched together on Channel 5.
Yeah.
Probably not. Is it only on Channel 5
but
in
do
your
you know-
house?
But let's put it, if you're watching, I don't know, a late night, Friday night,
From
erotic thriller.
1983.
Yeah, Illegal Briefs.
Those are huge briefs.
beautiful lawyer has
Jesus.
to defend a man who may be a killer. She falls in love with him, but does she know the real man?
Oh dear.
You know what I mean, though.
Watching a film with your parents and having a sex scene come on is so friggin' uncomfortable. And I agree with this. Sometimes it's just fine. Just insinuate it. All right. You know when they show like a typical movie where they show them kissing and then like the camera will pan up or pan down or pan to the side or pan somewhere to the window, whatevs. And you understand that the deed is being done and you don't have to see it. And then it's the next scene and it's the next day and they wake up or whatever. Fine. That's fine. All right. We get it. We didn't need to see it. It's messaged loud and clear. But some frickin' movies go so heavily into it and the scenes are so long and unnecessary. It has no place in a normal film, man. And I haven't seen Oppenheimer because I just haven't. It's not one of those films that particularly interested me. But I remember after it came out and everybody was talking about it, it was at the same time Barbie came out. Everybody was talking. There was like a couple months where that's what everybody was freaking talking about. Barbie and Oppenheimer and Barbenheimer. That's it. And when people were talking about Oppenheimer, almost everybody was saying, dude, I went to watch that with my parents and there's like a 20-minute sex scene, super explicit and stuff. It was the most uncomfortable thing that added nothing to the freaking movie, and it was like so uncomfortable. I was like, oh, geez, like and everybody was complaining about it. So I haven't seen it, and that's part of the reason I haven't seen it because everybody's like, the movie's amazing, but that scene was. I'm not interested in why, man. That like if you need to rely that heavily on sex scenes, it's because your movie's mainly shite, right? Like, I mean, just either do porn or do a good movie, but like, there's no need. So I'm with, who said it? Carl. I'm with Carl on this, especially movies that you watch with the family or your parents or your brothers or stuff. It's awkward, man. It makes everybody uncomfortable. So I'm with them on this. I can't think of a movie where the sex scene being explicit was important to the plot. Like, at all. Like, you have Titanic, one of the most romantic films. It's just like a steamy window, a hand on the door. All right, you understood what's going on. That's fine. That's enough. There you go. There are many ways to do it.
Lest you forget, of course, that I...
Love Heat. With the bloke that is now in... Go on.
Of course, that I, according to the Internet Movie Database, I once appeared in one of those films, in the film Killer Image, a Canadian film, I believe, from 1989. According to that computer...
it's all wrong,
website.
isn't it?
It's all wrong.
It's all wrong.
Of course it is, yeah. Apparently I was in that, and I played the role of Kirk.
Okay.
Was it a porn thing?
No, I think it's just an erotic thriller.
Oh, right.
That I suppose
You only had a very small part, though, didn't you?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't need to go that far. Say, like in this Jesus program, right?
Film.
What's it called?
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Just like talking. You know what? What's his name? Is it Ralph in The Simpsons?
Yes.
I drawed a kitty cat. It's like talking to that.
Yeah.
I watch Mindy because she's funny.
No, but right, this temptation thing, right?
You know,
This temptation thing, right?
Do you know, often we don't get that many complaints on this show. We don't get very many complaints. And I think that's either because there's no listeners, or B, it's because most people agree with Carl, and that terrifies me.
Or they let him off, because it's like, you can plead insanity, you can go mental and kill a few people, they go, he's a bit bad.
No, but was it because, like, they're saying that he was having it away? Or is it because you saw it? What got the complaints?
The complaint was the very suggestion.
It was a blasphemous thing, not the fact that you saw an actor's knob.
So what about if they just cut it down a bit and you like saw the little stable door closing?
There you go. That's what
It
I'm
wasn't
saying.
the baby Jesus having sex. It was the grown man.
The stable door shutting.
No, but do you know
It's
what
the
they do?
nativity scene.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is.
The wise men saying, I can't believe we brought myrrh, we should have brought condoms.
It's like that, yeah. There's 2 for 1 offering, Boots.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. With frankincense.
It's just that it's always awful.
Should we
isn't it?
apologise now to the Christian
Christian,
church as
yeah.
well?
So
Sorry,
we-
the little Chinese fellas, little Welsh fellas, and the little Christian fellas.
We haven't said anything wrong.
What
No,
about the shoes?
no.
It's like, you see, when I was growing up,
Stable door. I love the idea that in Carl's world, he was born in a stable, just thought, well, I
Yeah.
love this place.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay here the rest of my days.
This is good here. Oh, brilliant.
but when I was watching telly with my mum and dad, I mean, it still happens now, right? My dad will sort of go, oh, ruined. Good film ruined, right?
Yeah.
If some sex scene happens.
But why doesn't he
But
just
what are we
ignore
talking
it?
about sex scene? Are we talking about kissing or are we talking about penetration and looking at the camera?
No,
Going,
just-
are you enjoying this, Pilkingtons? What are we talking about? What is sort of extreme levels are we talking about?
Right, last time I was down there, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
Okay.
Meet Joe Black is a terrible film.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was it's a good film.
I can't
And then
remember.
you know it's going to happen because like the music comes in. Brad Pitt's keeping quiet. A woman's eyeing him up.
Sure.
So my mum,
I love that!
my mum's worked it out already, and she's going. Anything on the other side, love?
She knows. She
She
knows.
knows it's something's.
So you can be enjoying a film and you can be an hour and 10 in, and then some spidey senses of one of them can go, should we turn it over? And the other one goes, yeah, all right.
Are you sure it's not them protecting you from scenes of sex? So that what they're thinking is, what?
I don't remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember a sex scene in Meet Joe Black, and if there was, I don't remember it being explicit. Like, yeah, they kiss at the party and stuff, but I think they like changed the channel before the movie ended, and they just assumed because, or maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't know.
If Carl gets the idea to have sex,
Yeah.
that could lead to procreation. We don't want any more like him.
Yeah.
We've got to end the line
You
here.
sure it's not the doctor? Keep calling out going, you are keeping away from
exactly.
women, aren't you?
He must never find out.
Are you
how
sure
it's
they're not
done.
embarrassed because they're watching a sex scene with their son?
It happens every time, right? There's 2 things that my mum does, right? It's that if there's sex scene on the telly, she'll go, anything on the other side, love? And the other thing she always says, if ever there's anything on the telly with Elvis in it,
Yeah.
she goes, oh, I like him, right? And we all know, we sat there, we know what she's going to say next.
Yeah.
So you don't even bother saying why, right? And she goes, he likes fat, ugly people.
He what?
He liked fat, ugly people. He didn't always go for, like, the good-looking fans in the crowd.
What Elvis did?
Yeah.
Right.
That was always the thing. And
I'm
like,
sorry, no, hold on. I don't know
Lilo?
what we're doing now with our lives, Steve. Right, wait
is
a
that?
minute, right. So, your mum says 2 things, right? She either says...
Is there anything else on the
is there
other
anything
side?
else? Or, I like Elvis. There's a pause, because you know what she's going to say next. She says, he liked fat, ugly people. How often does this occur?
A lot,
well,
apparently.
because they've got, like, Sky, there's a lot of those channels on. They like the music channels. So Elvis always comes on. There's either an Elvis film, there's, like, a classic hit by him on...
And she'll go, I like Elvis, he likes fat, ugly people. And what do you mean he liked fat, ugly people?
Is she a fat ugly person?
Because there's that special Vegas show, isn't there, where he's dancing about, right? And he's got loads of scarves around his neck.
Towels.
Yeah. And, like, he always hands them down to the fat, ugly ones. Right. And I always say it's because they're the fat, they've got a sweaty face because they can't, you know what I mean?
I don't know what world they
I
live
don't
in.
know how we've got onto this
What
subject.
what sort of world are you got when you're watching his face? And what do you mean fat, ugly ones? You mean they're in the front, they're sweating a lot because they're a bit
Yeah,
chubby?
so she thinks, is giving them a towel because
But
it's like...
he's really
well,
going, wipe your face, you're putting me off, you
Yeah.
fat cow.
Oh.
Stop sweating near me.
There's another one.
What?
So, hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We haven't slagged off hairy Chinese kids. We slagged off Chinese... We didn't slag anyone off. We just said they really haven't got a town as such, and they wear shoes. What did we say?
Yeah, little wooden shoes.
And what did the...
I just don't know how we got onto Elvis and big fat ugly women. I don't know where we. I don't know how.
Whoa,
we got
whoa,
used
whoa!
and
He
big
went.
fat-
He went with the word woman. Nobody put woman after fat and ugly. That was just a smirch thing, and he always does that stuff, man. And I'm gonna call it out every time because it happens a lot.
a town as such, and they wear shoes. What did we say?
Yeah, little wooden
We're
shoes.
talking about.
what the-
I just don't know how we got onto Elvis and big fat ugly women. I don't know I don't know how we sidestepped from the Last Temptation of Christ.
Did you see that fat Girls and Feeders
Go on
program?
a minute.
Eh?
What's
Tom
that?
Petty first.
Oh, brilliant! It's a great song. Breakdown.
How many
Tom
other
Petty.
radio shows have talked about Last Temptation of Christ, Chinatown,
Yeah.
fat ugly women?
More
Yeah.
than 60 minutes.
Exactly. Incredible. Sony Award winning.
Semi award winning. All right.
Turing Breaks, Painkiller on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant
Okay.
and Carl
Okay.
Pilkington.
I should point out now, Rick,
Nice.
that the general consensus from
I like 'em.
the listeners is that Carl should definitely be on the poster.
But I know that.
obviously.
I know.
There's an interesting email
Of course
here.
they should.
It
They're
just
right.
says, I'd love to see Carl on the poster, especially as I'm watching him on the webcam today, and wearing that shirt, doesn't he look like Charlie Brown?
Please tell me
just
his
like
shirt's
Charlie
yellow
Brown
with
from the Peanuts
black
cartoon.
stripe.
Oh my god.
That's it. From now on, if anyone ever asks me what
He
Carl
does
looks
look like Charlie Brown. Oh,
He
I
looks
just,
just
it's
like
great
him.
because Charlie
Totally
Brown
does.
has got that thing, you've got less features than Morph. It's just a round head and there's human aspects. It's just the bare minimum. When I draw a cartoon of him, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Ah.
The thing is,
Aw.
right, if I go on the poster, this is what I'm worried about. Where do you go from there?
What do you mean?
What
Well,
are
it's
you talking
difficult, isn't it? Do you know, like before, you were talking about the complaint that a TV channel got about some fella putting bacon? Yeah?
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, you were talking about a
I
fella
didn't
who-
put the bacon on, but yeah, I was talking about it here and
Yeah.
it got a complaint, yeah.
Right. Now, he had to do that to get a kick. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? And it's the same for me on a poster. Once they've seen me,
You're gonna.
And we
peek?
get sued by the estate of Charles M. Schultz.
It looks like him,
Painting
dude.
without copyright. His
It
most
does.
popular
That is
creation.
awesome.
Oh,
it's just that if people don't know, it keeps them interested. They don't need to
They're
know
not
what I
tuning in
like.
every week on the off chance that we'll.
They're wondering what you look like.
Yeah, but the ones who are, it just keeps them.
They won't let them down there when they see your picture. It won't let them down. It won't be a letdown.
It's exactly as it should
Leave
be.
it. Anyway,
Yeah.
competition, yeah?
Right, let's get the answers. Let's get this out of the way. Songs of phrase.
Songs of phrase,
didn't
just in
get
case you
his
just tuned
point.
in, it's a new feature we've been doing. We take songs and chop them up and that, and it's a phrase that has cropped up on the show a few times. This week we were going back to the classic "Me Auntie Had Wind" for 5 minutes.
That's the classic.
And let's have a,
These are the
have a
answers,
listen.
is it? Okay.
Yeah. Right. So what you had there is you had the knack
Yeah.
with my Sharona.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Auntie was some Manson track.
Well, you don't even know what it was.
Auntie Everything, I think it's called, some album track, right? Then you had Bill Medley, Jennifer Warnes, I've Had the Time of My
Yeah.
Life.
Okay, nice.
You had Bob Dylan,
Wind.
Wind.
Idiot wind.
Blowing in the Wind.
Oh, blowing in the wind, was it?
What was after that? Four was 2468
four was Bob
Motorway. 2468
Okay.
Motorway.
Yeah.
Tom Robinson.
Tom
Yeah.
Robinson, yeah. That was the 4. Then you had the 5 from Manfred Man, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We wrapped it up with a bit of 5-star
Yeah.
from Minute, something about,
Can't wait.
yeah, can't wait another
Can't
minute.
wait another minute.
So, they're the answers.
Yeah,
We're
well,
looking for someone who, I don't think we got anyone who had them all right. But
Nobody got all 7, although
Dude,
in your
7's a
little
lot.
answer list, then you only listed 6 because
Yeah.
you got your numbers went out of sync in your own brain. Well done, once again, smooth. I tell you
No,
what,
see, because the same thing happened to me, and then I realized when he was saying Tom Robinson's 2468 Motorway, he said that's 4, and I thought the same thing. Like he was saying, naming the 4th thing, and it's the 5th, but it was 4, and it was actually 4, like 2, 4, 6. See, Steve, yeah. The same thing happened, and then when I read it was 4 and 4 and 4, and they said it was actually 4, I got it, and then it's the 5. It's just that it ended up being the 4 and the 5 ended up being the 5th and the 6th thing. So I know what happened, but
Carl, why don't you next week at least write down the answers for yourself?
don't need to.
Well, you clearly do because you just embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
Don't need to. You've proved that you
Exactly.
do.
Right,
Right, okay.
anyway. Well done. I'm going to give it to Paul Tier, PJ Tier, because he got 5 of the 7.
good on
Well
Paul.
done.
So he
well
gets
done.
And he's getting that signed Kevin Spacey
Yeah,
DVD.
if you can just email us your address as well and get them off to you today.
All right.
Brilliant.
That's what you're dealing with.
So you've done that competition, that's been put to bed.
Cheapest chimps.
Let's have a
We've done-
great tune, Rick, and then what else we got? We got some monkey news?
We've got some
we've
monkey,
got monkey news.
We've got cheapest chimps.
We're doing the film thing.
Right.
Film thing, the
What
film
film is it
thing.
this week?
Sounds of the
Don't
Lounge.
leave it
You can
out
be
again.
owning that by 3 o'clock on VHS.
Is it about $4.99? Is it?
Yeah, thereabouts.
20th century boy. Come on, Mark. Some people want a 21st century boy these days. Mark Bowden there. A little bit out of date on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Right, it's that time again, isn't it?
What time?
Oh, monkey news.
Yeah, monkey news.
Oh, monkey news.
Right, if you're a new listener, this is where we do a bit of monkey news.
Oh, it's a Christmassy monkey news.
Oh, imagine him giving
Ish.
these charts on a news programme. Like News Night Review or News at 10. Over to Carl Pilkington. Yeah, alright. Monkey's gone mad again. Go on.
Right, we've done quite a lot of good stuff. The one that sort of kicked up most of the fuss was probably Ollie the monkey.
I love the fact that they're all monkeys. He's a chimpanzee.
Wow.
Dude.
Rape.
Well, today, right, we're looking at one that's it's called Coco.
Oh yeah, the sign language one.
Well, what I've read about him is he speaks, right? Highly educated.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Carl!
Okay.
Carl!
Right?
I love the fact that when he gets a gifted ape, he has to look up to him. He realises that he is superior. I love that.
Right.
Oh.
And he also likes going on computer chat rooms.
Too far.
Take
Too
this
far.
anymore,
Too
Steve.
far.
I'm gonna be sick. Oh, God.
Which, right, that's pretty amazing.
You know, if an infinite number of monkeys are in an infinite number of chat rooms, they'll eventually type, which is your favourite episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Exactly, yeah. Carl Pilkington, you're an idiot.
But the thing is, right, you're saying about the infinite thing again. About
Again.
monkeys, if you put them in a room with a typewriter, they'll come up with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'd sort of agree with that, right, with monkeys who can't do other stuff, but this one I reckon's going to be busy taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think monkeys that are boring.
Is there a boring monkey? Would you ever have a chimp and you'd go, Suzanne would go, I've got your birthday present. And you know, it's a chimp fella. He's about, about a sort of like a middle-aged chimp.
No, I'd love it. I'm talking
Would
on
you ever
behalf
go,
of
I'll tell you what, Suzanne, that one's boring.
No, but I bet the monkey would get bored, I mean. Do you know what I mean?
No.
The monkey would be bored. I'd be loving it. I'd love to have a little monkey. Right? But
Yeah,
what
he
I'm
didn't
saying is...
enjoy that experience.
You really would,
Look at
wouldn't
his face.
But
He
what I'm
didn't like
saying
when
is-
he saw him.
You really would, wouldn't you?
If
Yeah.
you buy him a camera, he'd be happy again, wouldn't
Well, yeah, but that's just it. You wouldn't get in touch. It's like,
What's
if
it
you
like,
can do
Carl?
other stuff, you don't want to do the boring stuff.
Forget the typing, forget the monkeys typing. Talk about this monkey that's a photographer.
No,
what
but
you
we
talk-
are in a way. I'm just saying that would be happier. Monkeys that have got nothing else to do, if they can't take pictures and that, and they can't go on chat rooms.
he? They're happy to sit in a room typing away for
Typing away.
infinity, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's got maybe a little exhibition to put on.
Do you think...
Do you know that most chimps and apes and monkeys still actually just live in trees? These are in laboratories and zoos and things. You know that's not the norm. These monkeys
Yeah.
walking around sort of
Do
chatting
you?
and riding bikes.
Yeah.
You know that's not natural.
Exactly.
No, I know, but it's...
If you left a bike in the jungle and then came back a few years later, there wouldn't be monkeys riding around on it. And
You
a
don't
book.
know that.
If you left a bike with a book in the basket, right, and you went away for 10 years and you came back, there
book
wouldn't
is
be a
too
whole
much
new
for the
transport
bike?
system and schools.
No.
They'd eat it. They'd throw it round and eat it.
They
All
eat
right,
the
then, so
book.
what you're
I
saying
think
is you
you
can't...
don't know what you're
See,
talking
what
about,
I
sir.
think is... All right, then, so
I don't
what
know.
you're saying is...
I
you can't-
don't, so I'm I'm just here to start trouble, but I don't agree with
See,
you.
what I think is, right, and don't take this the wrong way in that,
Of
right,
course not.
Stephen Hawking,
Yes.
Who?
right, now he had a bad illness. Now, I wonder if he'd be... I wonder if he'd be as bright as he is if he didn't have that.
Right.
Because he's had time to sit down, he's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
They've gone and give him a book. And he read it, I like that. Give us another one.
Yes.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yes.
Are we talking about
Now,
Stephen
what I'm
Hawking?
saying is monkeys. Yeah,
Right.
This one here, Coco, which I think was a gorilla,
Right.
right? That wouldn't have been happy on a little keyboard.
Had a
Just doing it on-
what? Could use sign language and had a nipple fixation. Carl's previous story about the monkey who wanted to see more of the zookeeper's wife isn't too far from the truth. I didn't know Coco was weird like that.
Day because it'd be going, well, I could be out taking pictures.
Sure.
That I think was a gorilla,
Right.
right? That wouldn't have been happy on a little keyboard, just doing that all
Typing
day
away.
because it'd be going, well, I could be out taking pictures.
Sure.
Play a record!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Play a record!
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
done.
I love when he says, do you know what I mean? He says
You're an
the
idiot.
most
There
ridiculous
it was.
stuff. Do you know what I mean?
There's the catchphrase.
I love it.
Once more.
He is! He's an idiot!
Sure.
Sure.
Athlete, El Salvador, on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, the amazing
Yes.
Steve Merchant and the incredible Carl Pilkington.
Okay.
Alright?
That works.
Right,
I
we've
guess.
done that. Monkey news. Right, straight. Let's hit them dead. Let's go straight with cheap as chimps, Carl.
Right, well, this will probably finish today, to be honest.
Oh,
right? Because
No,
what if we
the
looked
film.
at it cheap as chimps, we found out that...
They eat one banana. Next, go on, do this
Eat one
one.
banana
Yeah,
a day and that.
yeah, that's
Right,
it. Brilliant.
So what?
It was a long-running feature. Go on.
What? Sorry, can I just ask again? What are the rules with cheapest chimps?
It's just, if you wanted a chimp, how much would it sort of cost you?
Brilliant.
Right?
Title come first.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
as always, that's the way they do it. Right? Cheap as chimps. I thought I'll go online and see, if I could buy one.
Okay.
How much do you reckon?
£6,000.
To buy a chimp.
Yeah.
Oh no, a ridiculous amount. What? Where can you buy them from? What sources? You shouldn't be able to buy them.
eBay.
What do you mean? Buy a chimp from who?
There was this website that was selling stuff.
What you could actually.
What are you talking? What are you talking about?
Right, here we go then, right? I looked at it. Here's some of the other animals that were on there.
No, wait a minute. What are these poachers?
I don't know.
What zoos that got bored with them? Where can you buy a chimp?
I don't want to give it a plug.
Right,
Some
go on then.
website, right?
So
Right.
what are the other animals available?
Right, well, that'll
Oh,
give
there
you
was a
some...
picture.
Right,
some
go on then.
website, right?
Right.
So what are the other animals available?
Right, well, that'll give you some prices with the other animals, then you can try and work out if it's cheap as chimps, right? So, right, a camel. What do you reckon?
9,000.
£25,000.
Right,
Holy shit.
$8,000
I
for a
was
camel.
closer.
Right?
I was saying pounds.
Sloth,
40 quid.
$3,000.
Wait,
Right.
I didn't get to guess.
Last one. Bengal tiger.
Whoa,
that's
whoa,
gotta be
whoa,
pricey.
whoa.
Bengal tiger.
I know you guys pronounce it sloth, but is it not written without the A? Hold on. Sloth. It's like the U in color and honor. Okay. If you guys do spell it like that makes a little bit more sense. You want to leave? Go ahead. Yeah, have fun. Bye, people. That makes more sense of the pronunciation, but now I'm curious. Okay. Is it sloth or sloth in British English? Okay, some people, yeah, okay. It's acceptable with an A, but okay, that makes sense, because I always wondered why the hell you guys call them sloths. Sloth. We drop the A, and sloth makes sense if you drop the A. Okay.
Tiger. Dollars.
Right.
Last
Tiger,
one.
15.
Bengal tiger.
15.
Oh, that's got to be pricey. $12,000.
$1,800.
What?
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Carl, this is an awful website. That can't be true, mate.
Right,
That's
so,
awful.
a chimp.
That is awful.
Well, a chimp,
$5,000.
I'm going to go with $1,000.
7.
55,000.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know what to
Expensive
say
as
because
chimps.
this is rubbish anyway. What website can you buy? Okay, get me a tiger. Here's a grand. Get me a tiger.
Well, I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Postage and packages and...
Sorry, so where does the cheapest chimps element come in?
Well, that's
Aren't you
sort of
supposed to shout, it's cheap as chimps at the end?
Well, it isn't. That's why I want to finish the feature.
I don't know what is the most cheap as chimps?
Oh, this is amazing.
It is.
This is amazing broadcasting.
So...
We're up for a Sony Award, aren't we? I hope they're listening, because it's ours.
Yeah.
With features like Cheap as Chips, it's ending because they're not.
It's in the bag.
And do you remember, here's Athlete.
What the hell was that? That was a
Can't
disaster.
stop the red hot chili.
Is that really the death of Cheapest Chimps because he found out they're extremely expensive? That's amazing, dude. Is that you saying hello to everybody? That was nice and in the microphone. I like it. Don't shop, adopt. And if you can't adopt, it's because you shouldn't have that animal, that particular animal, like a chimp or a tiger. Right? You tell him.
Peppers. Well, I've got news for you boys. I don't want to stop you. I love your funk rock fusion.
What is that? Why is that
Word
happening?
warning, no nudity.
No.
Repeat, no nudity at this gig.
I don't like it.
I do it like you. I think you should host a whole show like that. It's lovely. Have you ever done any like DJ, like proper DJ, like in a pub or a club? Because I know Carl had his own. I had my own disco when I was a kid.
Yeah, not proper. I had a gig once when I had to. It was 2 nights a week in the local pub. Just the 2 decks that was in a suitcase. You know, those sort of all-in-one thing. And they just wanted the same records. They wanted Rod Stewart, Baby Jane. They wanted about 11:15 when they were all drunk. They wanted Don McLean's American Pie, which they all sang along to.
Yeah.
Uptown Girl they liked.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't used to do the talking.
Did you
at
do
all.
the patter?
No,
'Cause
I couldn't. I just
the
don't
patter.
understand it. I just love those wedding sort of DJs that they have to give you extra information. They can't just play a song. They have to say things like, "Ooh, all the way back there in the Commodore's easy." It's sort of like they have to tell you something. Who's listening? They're just going to play the next record.
It's
a wedding, yeah.
It's like, there's the controller of a local radio station listening. It just happens to be at the wedding, thinking, "Hang on,
Hold on, he's played a record, but he's got extra information." Well, they should do useful things at a wedding. Like,
What's useful at a wedding?
Will the overweight aunt in the purple dress please now take the floor with little unfortunate kid and let him hop around?
As the dance floor is currently empty, will any 8-year-old
I legit thought he was going to say, will the old auntie stop breaking wind? For a moment.
boys wearing those tiny tuxedos please slide across the dance floor on their knees? Until they are taken home and put to bed early.
I went to one once, and the bloke who'd hired it went to the DJ, and this DJ that had come with this sort of party wanted a 70s disco, and he looked like Woody Allen, right?
Okay.
And I was sure he used to be a gentleman's outfitters, like, and he said, "Oh, I wanted a 70s disco," and he went, "Well, I've got Bicycle Race by Queen lined up, I've got ELO, and I've got Cliff We Don't Talk Anymore, so..." And he went, "Well, I went sort of more disco." He went, "I don't really want to blow All Me Earth, Wind and Fire before 10. But it's like, all planned.
There is a rule, there are rules. Will the 17-year-old girl, who's dressed like Avril Lavigne, please tut loudly, because I still haven't played anything by Linkin Park?
Will the 45-year-old woman, recently divorced, please cry now?
Yeah,
please cry now.
Please cry now, because it's clear you're never going to find another man.
Wow.
Because you used to be a DJ, didn't you? Because there is a sort of rule, definitely. I remember there was like, you know, what I learned was that there are certain tunes you just do not play early on. Oh, What a Night, for instance.
Dun, 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 yeah.
People, you never play that before like 11. You want that last hour before they've got to go home to be non-stop dancing.
When would you pop on Dancing Queen?
Interesting, thanks for that. Is there a buffet being served?
Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely post-buffet. I remember there was great days, I was reminded this recently by ITV's Reborn in the USA. There was a great time where you could come out of the buffet, or any kind of speech, with a bit of Gina G. I remember there was a great period for a couple of years where that was always a barnstormer.
Sure.
But sadly, no longer the case. What about, I mean, because the danger is, of course, you go back to the 70s, maybe you got Dancing Queen, but how many do you play before you come into the 80s with perhaps Billie Jean?
Or Soft Cell.
Soft Cell's always a classic, yeah. I'd love to hear that. And, because there's always controversy now, as to whether Love Shack is overplayed. I know that's a big discussion now.
I've never liked it. I just like, will any 35-year-old men please now dance ironically to Bombastic, in the vain hope that someone would actually find them attractive?
What
Love Shack, oh no, never liked
Come
it.
on, Eileen?
I never, Yeah, all right. I just never liked any records that with a hint of novelty about them.
They are popular though. They're floor fillers.
I hate them.
You haven't done DJing, have you?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Singing on the other side of your
done it,
face.
have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Not
you didn't play
properly.
Dexter's Midnight Runners?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it out that much when I did it. It was like, I knew I had the tights and cigars to give away.
Yeah.
Which he
At the
stole
raffle.
from his parents' bedroom beforehand.
Yeah.
Why were you giving away stuff at a disco anyway? Why aren't you just playing records?
That
Because
is
people
weird.
liked it, didn't they? If it wasn't...
It hasn't changed. We're doing this.
Okay, but now it like comes together full circle that he got nicking objects to give away from his dad. Like he thinks it's okay to just take things that aren't his. Apparently, it's a family thing.
We talk rubbish, we play records, and we give away crap that we found.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed, has it?
Crap that.
And, so I had some good times. I mean, for people who haven't been listening all the time, it was called Pilkey's Making Music.
Yeah.
It
Colin
was
Makin.
like Pilkington, and my mate was called something Making, and the music was what we played.
Yeah.
Right?
They look
And I had
alike.
some
Perfect.
cards made. Had some nice blue glossy cards made, but they were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I used to hand them out, and then they'd say cheers for that, and
Ask
say
for
no,
them
write
back.
it down, write the number down. I want that back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they were quite pricey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Classy,
Had that
classy
done.
businessman there.
Made
I think
saved,
Richard Branson used to do that.
I think so, yeah.
saved a bit of money because my dad made some lights for me. He just like
He said he made him, he found him in a telephone box.
the,
People were making phone calls in the dark
Yeah.
round the neighbourhood.
Exactly.
it was just white bulbs in like a box, and like my mate making, he used to just flick them on and off like the thing, and then they'd be in time with the music and that. And
Perfect.
Well, he had to sit there and flip
I
the
love
lights
that.
on
I
and
love
off.
that. We got a sound to light system. What's his name? Colin.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
right, so
Did you ever
we'd do
rent
that.
him out?
Right, well, we never had any disasters, right? But my mate did one.
No
Right?
disasters,
I don't know
that's
if it's
nice.
that funny, really, but it.
Go
Well,
on.
I'll tell you anyway, right? He was doing this gig, and it was probably one of the biggest gigs that he ever had. Must have been a couple of hundred people there.
Yeah.
That's
And
a lot.
in like a big sort of warehouse thing. Anyway, for some reason, there was some problem with a big speaker that fell, right? So the police turn up and stuff.
Okay.
And they try to control the night, and they're going, can everyone sit down? We try to control it. Can you sit down? So anyway, you get a few like little groups of people sitting down on the
Who's
floor.
breathing
So
like
anyway,
that?
we try to control
Jeez, is
it.
that
Can
Ricky?
you sit down? So anyway, you get a few like little groups of people sitting down on the floor, and people were still stood up, and the police were saying, look, we're going to cancel this whole night if you don't all sit down, and more people are sort of sitting down. It's going on for about 20 odd minutes, right? Will you please sit down? And it gets to this point when there's just one lad stood up in the middle. And he's going, look, you're ruining it for everyone. Will you sit down? And it goes quiet for a bit, and someone's muttering something. And he goes, the lad standing up has got calipers on his legs. Can we have a round of applause for the kid?
Who said that?
It was this lad who was doing the DJ. He was the DJ.
What?
So, like, the police and everything were saying, well, you sit down, you're ruining it for
Does he have caterpillars on his legs? What?
everyone else.
Dear. You know, the quick way to sort that out would have been to play
Play
this upside your
James.
head.
Yeah,
Or sit down. Yeah.
But most of mine were, I had good nights.
Yeah.
Always got rebooked and stuff, and...
I had a
went down
bunch of
storm.
venture scouts went mental once, had a food fight.
What
They
were
just went
you
crazy.
playing to Venture Scouts for?
Well, we got booked by everyone, Rick. We started with weddings and local, things, but we soon went up. At one point we played a massive gig in a big tent in the middle of nowhere for some scouts, and
Was
they
it not
absolutely
a
loved us.
fort?
Rage Against the Machine. Oh, they couldn't believe their luck.
Do you know when they say weddings and bar mitzvahs? Do they get a lot of discos playing bar mitzvahs? Is that a big? I
I'm
don't know.
assuming so.
What happens at a bar mitzvah?
Well, I've not never
Been to
been
the
to one.
party?
so I'm
Could
not
someone
really
After?
phone in if you've had a little bar mitzvah? Tell me what it was like. What did you play at a bar mitzvah? I don't know what the occasion is
Okay.
really. It's becoming a man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We learned something, won't we, Carl?
Yeah, alright, I'm Jordan's phone.
Sponsored by GoPro. What? What? What is that? What? Why GoPro? Okay. That tripped me out. But isn't it like, just like almost anything? What's a wedding? It's the ceremony part where they do the stuff. the traditional stuff, and then it's a party. And the bar mitzvah, I imagine, is the same. They do the traditional reading of the stuff, and, you know, the ceremony part, and then it's a party. Like, isn't that how almost every celebration goes down? Like graduation, it's the graduating part, and then it's a party. Like, what's the question?
Carl.
Yeah, all right. Do you want them to phone in?
Yeah.
Do we?
Well, I want to know if they really do have DJs at bar mitzvahs.
All right.
Oh, wait,
How interested are you in that?
Well, you know, I don't want to embarrass myself one day.
Sure.
Let's see, it's Carl, you've got to learn, haven't you?
I'll tell you what, have we got time for the film thing as well?
Yeah, play the film thing now.
No, let's play a tune. Let's play a great
tune.
tune. Oh, I can't believe my luck.
Better Cure?
Yeah. Forest,
They already
The Cure, on XFM
skipped out on it
104.9.
last week.
Wow. Brilliant. Someone called in, she's been to a bar mitzvah, and they do have apparently a crap disco.
There
And
you go.
apparently,
What happens?
well, Carl asked her what happens. She said, you just sit around and see the kid who's getting bar mitzvah, or the man now, get given loads of money.
Right.
And I said, is there a female equivalent? And apparently there is a female equivalent
Bat
of a
mitzvah.
bar mitzvah, but she didn't know what it was called.
What's that?
Bat mitzvah.
A bar titzvah.
Right, I'm just going to add to the list of people we've offended. Sorry
It's funny how he was kind of close, being all ironic and stupid,
to
but
Jewish people as well.
Yeah, we've got to
So sorry to Jewish people,
We're
sorry
making a
to
list
Chinese
here.
people, sorry to Welsh people.
ugly fat women.
again
well,
with
I
the
don't put Welsh in
women,
twice.
it was people.
Sorry to Elvis fans,
Elvis fans. Animal lovers.
animal lovers. Brilliant. Well, lovers of great radio.
Yeah.
That was music lovers. Good. Well, sorry about that.
Apologies to all of you.
Yeah, and
We haven't even had time for, we haven't got time for the film thing this week.
why not?
Just, it's running tight, really.
Are you sure?
We haven't done Cheeky Freak of the Week.
It's a new feature, isn't it?
That's a new feature.
Cheeky
There's
freak
too
of the
many
week. Let's do cheeky
features.
freak of the week. What is
Dude, the cheapest Chimps things was absolutely ridiculous, right? Like, if they really dropped that, thank goodness. Because that was stupid, for lack of a... Nah, stupid is a perfect word. Not lack of nothing. It was stupid. But couldn't he just have said, we're not going to do cheapest Chimps anymore because I discovered that they're not cheap at all? And then do the film thing. The film thing was like one of the best
cheekiest
things. freak
freak of the week? So I'm just going to apologise now. I've just had freaks. Sorry to freaks. Okay, right, go ahead.
Well, I say it's a new
That
feature,
creeped
but we've
me
sort
out.
of touched on it in the past with
We always talk about freaks.
Hey,
Why is there a normal guy? They all got like the crazy teeth and stuff going on, and then there's just like Jim. What? I'm sorry, but it's funny. Like, what? Oh, it's a mosquito. Hold on. I lost it, but I'm armed and ready if it comes back. I wanted you guys to hear that because it echoes a lot when I zap them, because everything echoes a lot. But, oh my God, dude. What did that guy do? This is like the guy... I was telling everybody a couple days ago that, oh, dude, here in Argentina, I don't remember where I said this, but a lot of people applied for disability to get like a plan from the government, the disability plan or whatever it's called. And they were lying, and you know, people put up stuff like, "Oh, I had my arm amputated," and they didn't, and stuff. And there was one guy that even presented a dog's X-ray and stuff to claim, you know, disability. It's like this guy, he's lying. Wait, it's too close. Got it. I love this thing. All right, cool. It zapped somewhere. I don't know if you guys heard that, but cheapest chips.
the Chinese kid.
Yeah.
We've had the Pillow Man.
Yeah. Oh, you called a draft excluder?
Just make a note of that, would you, Rick, on the
Yeah.
list?
People without arms and legs.
But at least, you see, the Pillow Man, what do you picture? Because I was saying to Ricky in the week, right, I'm a great fan of the
Are
Elephant Man.
the two people in the middle between the A and freak and then of the, are they sharing a body? Are they conjoined? I mean, this is the place for that if that's what's going on.
That's his. You know, that's his favourite.
To Ricky in the week, right? I'm a great fan of the Elephant Man.
Okay.
That's his. You know, that's his favourite freak.
Of
the
all
Elephant
the
Man.
freaks, that's
Do you know why he said? Do you know why he said? He said because you get what you pay for. When someone says the Elephant Man, you get what it says on the tin. Right. You know you're going to get it.
Yeah. Do you imagine, Steve, if you had a mate and you said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to go and see my mate. And you go, which mate? And he said, the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Straight away, you haven't even met him, but you know what he's going to look like.
Yes.
Right? That's what I like about that. Hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get.
Pillow Man.
Yeah.
Not so good.
What does that mean?
It could be one of those big fat things on that show, couldn't it? A big pillow, like a.
Yeah.
You know, they do that big thing about the fat people in feeders. They're getting up to like 60 stone and that big one. And there's a thing called fat admirers that just fancy fat women, right? And
You writing that down?
There is.
yeah, sorry, and they had blow up versions. It looked like a bouncy castle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Shall
You
we
could
read?
you'd be knackered when you blew that up.
Yeah,
You just wouldn't want to go
exactly.
forget it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That's
I
people being cruel as well, isn't it? Because after watching the programme on Channel 4 about
And
the,
you're not?
you know, the fat people and fellas who like them and stuff, there was a story on one of the news websites about some fella in Germany, right? He was a big fella, must have been about 50 stone, and he
I think that's
fell
a lot,
over, right? And I think he hurt his ankle or something. And
Timber.
they sent firemen instead of like an ambulance.
Yeah,
So straight away they're having a bit of a laugh.
they're not. No, they've got
No.
winching gear.
Well, they didn't know. They didn't have winching gear. They had to use the hose pipes
What?
to carry him out. I think it was
Okay.
Anna Nova, that news website. They had to use the hose pipes, so they made like a bed using the hose pipes
Oh yeah.
and had to carry him out
Okay.
on that. And then they had to sort of get him into a special truck, they said, and do the same when they got to the hospital. I mean, that's a bit...
That's mad, isn't it?
They shouldn't do that.
Although, Carl, I'm
What
loving
are they
that story. I'm
supposed
just
to
worried
do?
that we're not going to be able to fit in Cheeky Freak of the Week.
What's
So
the
which
Cheeky
is the one
Freak
you
of the week?
nominated?
Alright, Cheeky Freak of the Week. Something I found on the net.
Yeah.
Fella who had 27 toes and fingers.
In a jar.
No, still on him.
In a
And proper
jar?
ones as well, not like little stumps and that. Proper.
He's a
full-formed
carpenter. Okay.
fingers. He
Was
had
it-
like
Was he a pianist? Close-up magician.
That's trippy, dude. Finding gloves and like freaking shoes must be a hassle because those feet are wide. Okay, there's too many toes. It's wider, and just those hands are going cold in winter. Unless like you have somebody that can knit you a pair. Oh, you would treasure them, wouldn't you? That'd be a great gift for this guy, Christmas and all. Or you know when they make socks with the toes? Those aren't comfortable though. I don't like those. I never like those. Those they just feel weird to have like cloth in between your toes. I don't like that. But make this guy freaking mittens every Christmas. Let him have a collection.
I don't know what he did. He just said that he's
Cat's cradle professional.
Did he ever work on finger bobs?
What the hell is that?
He was saying in the week.
For the crowd scenes.
I'm now going to do Braveheart.
yeah.
He said about the Elephant Man. He said, I want to do a thing right with freaks, where it's good and bad. He went,
Okay.
what did you said? The pro about him is,
You get
what
what
about
you.
the fella with loads of fingers or?
no, the Elephant Man.
Well, he
He said the bad thing is he stretches his jumpers.
Button-up
puts 'em on.
shirts would be better. Sure. He's
And
actually
what's the
wearing a
good thing?
button-up.
sort of he never gets up and goes, oh, my hair's a bit of a mess today.
How do you know? How
No.
do you know?
He's always having another bad face day.
I don't
That was messed up.
this head and shoulders. Are you taking the piss?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So that's freaky.
Didn't you see an elephant woman in Manchester?
Yeah, leave that.
What do you mean, leave it?
No, because it is sad.
Green
I
screen.
know it's sad, but I mean, I don't know what my next sentence is.
Yeah, when people always
That
think,
should be the end.
Did
I don't need
or-
to say anymore. People will know what she looks like. It's a good name for her.
Did she like buns? Oh dear.
It was when my dad was a taxi driver and I used to sit in the front
Yeah.
and she used to get a lot of taxis And
he only charged you half price, didn't he? He was a good guy.
well, the bad thing is as well with people like that, you don't want to offend them because they never forget.
Oh, go!
Right? But,
go, Pilkington!
I was sat in the front of the cab and my dad goes, right, we're going to go and pick the, I can't even tell you the name. These guys, it's just evil. Right?
What do you mean?
No, leave it. So she's got.
No, Carl,
please.
tell me what he said.
No.
You've already stitched him up as Stephen things from Little Welsh
I don't
fellas.
care.
Right, what did he call her?
Steve, back
No!
on this. I really
Carl,
don't want
to be
to.
fair, our opinion of him is already pretty low.
Look, tell me what he said.
No, it's not. I'm scared of what my dad gets. It's the person who's got. The
She's
thing
not
wrong with it.
listening, is she?
How do you know?
Her headphones wouldn't fit on her head.
Tell me what he called her.
There are speakers.
I don't want to.
Tell me what he called her, Carl. I'm getting angry, man. Tell me what he called her.
No, I'll leave that. Honestly,
Tell me what he...
It doesn't matter.
Just
Tell me
lie,
what he
Carl.
called her.
Just say
Carl,
Roxanne.
I'm going to go...
Seriously, I want to know what he called her.
Right, you're not going to stop this show. We're not doing the next show until you tell me what he called her.
What did your father call the elephant head woman?
Tell me.
Spudhead.
How old were you?
I don't know, about 9.
Did you laugh?
So did you expect to see a potato with a dress?
He did sort of, again, it's a good name. Do you know what I mean? They had an idea of what it was going to be about, and he said, do you want to stay in the car? I'll take you home because you can't.
Spudheads, you got lovely eyes.
Can't. That's it, by the way.
Is that all? Is that all?
Oh, cheers. Bye.
Brilliant. Well, let's end with Cool J. Magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, another week without the film thing. That sucks, because those were really fun. What an odd episode. Dude. I love how they're trying to like overachieve with the amount of features that there's no way, even if it starts with just features and they just go through the features, they still won't have enough time. So I don't know what they're tripping on, but and apparently Rockbusters that sometimes makes a comeback. Ridiculous. This was all over the place. Very fun. Okay. What a nice way to spend, some time on a Friday. Why not? Yeah. She's hungry, dude. That's why she's being her loud little self. Anyway, lovely humans. Thank you so much, Rusty. This was amazing. And I love the Christmas theme and stuff. I love how we're keeping up with, whatever month or holiday season it is. I like that. I like those little details. Very nice. Beautiful humans. It's over. It's actually really late here. My neighbor's going to hate me. But I don't care. I close the windows and doors and stuff so to not be super heard, but I guess it does echo a lot. Well, whatever. I do what I can when I can. And that's that. Lovely humans. Thank you for everything. New Year's is coming up. I will put out some... Yeah, okay, because it's Wednesday. Okay, there will be some videos before New Year's, probably, most likely. I don't know. I'll do what I can. But if you don't see me and I don't see you, Happy New Year's. But I'll get a message out there. I'll do it. Something will be done. Anyway, beautiful humans, it's over. I'm out. See ya.